Welcome to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, gents.
One more.
One
There
more.
we
I
go.
got it.
Pod 6-8.
Tips.
6-3.
It just smells like mint.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Tastes like mint.
It tastes like mint and lime.
Pack a punch.
yeah.
It's a sick can. Check it out on Instagram and X.
Please do. Yeah, we're gonna
It's
have
super
them up.
sick.
So this is done by local boys in 10 Tour with a collab of UNR, obviously. Got the pack blue and the Wolfpack logo on it as well on the back, so that's dope. I love local collabs, but it is definitely a cocktail. It's
Yeah.
a white rum with marronberry, blackberry, mint, and lime, carbonated water.
I think the only reason we're really doing it, usually we stick to the beers or the ciders, but it's because it's pack punch.
Sure,
and it's
1000%.
It's a
Yeah.
Nevada collab.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we probably wouldn't do another cocktail. But
If this was just some random
Yeah.
ready to drink, we
Yeah.
wouldn't. But yeah, no,
it's
shout
sick,
out to
dude.
10 Tour.
Yeah, look, I think the can is super awesome. Like, check it out. It's got the sweet blue with the sweet gray. I love the pack. How
The old school script for
Yeah,
sure.
and then does got the Nevada new one on the back. It's
It's cool, man, especially for you locals. I think though it's a little minty for me on the back end. I like
it's
the
aggressive.
berry. I like the berry. I always like berry and anything of that nature, but mint is not my favorite flavor profile.
See, I kind of do like mint because I like I love a mojito when I'm in
Yeah,
Mexico.
see, pass on that.
Dude, I love it. It's so refreshing.
To me, it's not because I don't like that mint. I understand the why people do enjoy the mint. I do get it. It's a lot like coffee for me. Like, I do understand why there's a huge fandom around it, but like it's just not for me. Yeah, both of y'all do.
Yep.
And I'm from the coffee capital of the United States, and I still don't like coffee.
Reno does a good job on coffee. You notice how many like little coffee
West
shops
Coast,
thrive?
baby. West Coast. We just do things of that nature better.
Yeah, you definitely get that.
Mint is their
Definitely
heart.
get the mint.
It's berry up front and minty on the back,
Yeah.
and it drinks at 9%.
Yeah.
So
Gonna
that
get
percentage,
fucked
man.
up.
Dang. You would not expect that with the
How
way
good it tastes.
Yeah. It's sweet.
well, no, it's very sweet. And most ready-to drinks, RTDs as they're called, don't drink this high. Some do, but this is an imperial.
You're right.
technically.
You're right. They don't. They stick
Five,
around like the 5,
4.5,
Yeah.
5, maybe 6%.
maybe 6%.
This one packs a punch.
And then
That's
there's
right,
the
brother.
black long drinks, and they do the 8%.
They're like the Imperials.
the upgraded,
Yeah.
exactly. But they're like one
They're
one of one.
They're 8%.
Right, correct. Yeah.
So what else you guys been drinking?
Oh man.
Nothing new. I
Yeah, I was
had
gonna say me neither.
some more fresh. I've been drinking a lot of Deschutes lately, which we're gonna have one on the pod in a little
Nice.
bit. Some fresh squeeze, some fresh haze. Other than that, some High Noons, some Coors Light.
I've been drinking
Guinness.
Casadores.
Casadores.
That was one of the best
that's
things.
what I had
Yeah,
yesterday.
because nobody drank tequila when we went camping, so I came back with a whole bottle of tequila. So it's like,
Nice.
oh, happy me.
Were
Yeah.
you shooting it last night, Trev?
Yes. Okay, so last
Yeah,
night.
give us the rundown because we went a little off pod here. But
Yeah. Went out to catch the beginning of the Alabama-Georgia game over at Pinion.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, and got there. I made sure to, look at what I was ordering so I could remember. Mother Earth Tropicali Nitro.
Oh,
It was smooth. It was had a little fruity, but it wasn't like overpowering. It was good.
Nitro too. That's
Yeah.
my best fucking.
You got to try that one.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you both would love that. Delish. And then another good Mother Earth beer. After that, had a Sockeye Socktoberfest. That was a little heavier Oktoberfest.
I've tried Sockeye a few times as a brewery, and I've never been overly impressed.
I think I'm on the same with you, Chuck.
They're okay, but I've never really been like, whoa.
It was just one I never tried. It was a
Sure.
richer, more full-bodied Oktoberfest.
I love the
'cause
sound of that.
You get, Oktoberfest, the German version is a lot lighter usually.
It is. It's closer to an amber, I
Yeah.
would say. Like it fades pretty quick. I would not in a bad. It sounds weird when I say it that way, but I mean as far as like the body and the head, but the flavor is normally impeccable.
And then after that, we shots of Casadore, We did a round of that before we headed to the St. James Brasserie. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Picked that up last night for my buddy's birthday.
Who chose the tequila shots? Like, who chose? Because it's always when you're in a group of people trying to get everybody to agree upon one style of liquor, it's kind of hard sometimes.
A lot of Heather's work friends like tequila. So
Okay, so that was the easy
that's
one?
their path.
So
if he's buying
Zach's
shots, that's what he's
doing whiskey
buying.
and everybody else is doing tequila.
I just roll with whatever we're gonna shoot, as
Sure.
long as it's something I just can't stand.
As
tequila,
long as
though.
we're not doing rum, I can shoot just about anything you put in front of me. I can shoot rum if it's like that's what we're really doing, but like
I ain't shooting tequila, so
ever, never, ever, never,
ever, never, ever.
ever, never. Not even if it's Don Julio 1942.
I don't know.
When's the last time you had like really good tequila? Really good
Doesn't like
tequila.
it enough
Never
to pay
ever.
for that.
You probably
really good tequila.
Okay. One day when I splurge on my own self, I will
Hit you
involve
up.
you, yes, in said splurge. You'll have like the smallest of bits, but you
Just as
will
long as it doesn't
understand.
come right back up, because that's what I
Why
smell.
would it?
Because I smell tequila and it's just like, oh fuck. here
Real
we go.
tequila, bro, tastes and smells. Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. Like butter. It has this like
Just the agave.
coatings. It just coats your throat in just this beautiful. Like I love tequila.
All right, well, let's move away
It
from
sounds
your
a little
romantic
much, yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds a little much.
tequila take. But we
But,
did more drinking tequila at St. James Brasserie. Had a couple more, another round of shots, and then I had a couple cocktails. Well, four
okay.
cocktails, I believe.
That's two doubles.
Started with they had this cherry pistola. It was this Moscow like cherry lime.
A mezcal. Okay.
I started with that for the first cocktail, and then their Molly Ringwald, which is like a strawberry lemon,
That makes sense.
and that one was really good. So ended up, I think, getting 3 of those, and put those down. I was feeling really good last night. So waking up this morning was a little rougher than
Pleasant
usual.
is what they would say.
And
Well-
man, back to it.
You know,
Good morning.
Trev, I love that you went a little bit last night. I love that you showed up with your smiling faces today. We traveled safe, right?
Yeah, we were good.
Traveled safe, and honestly, like this pod is about alcohol a little bit. We're called Balls and Brews, for God's sakes. And Zach is halfway through his 9%. I don't know if he's forcing it down at this point, but he's
Going through it
He's
quick.
doing what he needs to do.
I'm a big drinker.
I'm a big man, big drinker. All right, what happened big time last night? 2v4? We're going to talk about 2v4?
2v4.
2v4 was nuts last night, y'all.
Georgia comes out, gets down 28. I mean, Alabama just offensively was sticking it to him, defensively was sticking it to him. It wasn't even a game.
Yeah, that's around when I
The
left.
casual fans turning that off, for sure.
Well, we already had other plans, and
Sure,
the
yeah,
place
yeah.
in St. James where we were sitting didn't have a TV, so
So we were flipping back and
that?
forth between that and the Illinois-Penn State game, because at that point, that game was 7-7.
yeah.
So we were flipping back and forth between that. Penn State went up 14-7. It's like, all right, let's flip back. Oh, shit. Georgia got a touchdown. All right, so it's 28-7. Okay, then they get the safety. You're like, holy fuck. Then they don't score after getting the safety, so it ends up being 37.5, right? That's a halftime score. You're thinking, oh, this fucking game. Holy shit. Next thing you know, Carson Beck and Georgia come out and start slinging it. 4 plays, touchdown. 6 plays, touchdown. Then they get a, didn't they get a, like, did they get a fumble or a pick, Chuck?
No, they did have one, interception to flip the field.
Going into the end zone, Jalen Milroy hit his tight end. His tight end kind of had to reach back for it, bobbled it, and that was the pick.
Right.
So then they go down and score again. And then Georgia finally took the lead. They had the lead for 13 seconds before
34
Alabama
by,
went down.
one point.
And that dude made the 17-year-old, that kid, number 2, he's 17 years old. Had over 100 yards receiving, and the big one where the guy got his hand and hit it, he was able to keep track of it, hit it to himself, and catch it.
His body control on that was insane. And then the one on the sideline
Yes.
that went for a touchdown as well. They were like, the catch wasn't that great, but the catch was insane. He like caught it off his backside and then brought it around, stuck.
Do you have the
spun around 2 people?
Do you have the stats for that game, T-Money?
Yeah, let me pull those up.
Those
real
have to be
quick.
video game stats. They were insane. There was like 1,000+ yards of offense total.
Dude, yeah, Jalen Milroe looking pretty good. I said he was my Heisman candidate.
I mean, he had a hell of a game. 27 for 33, 374, 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 on the ground with 117 yards rushing.
Yeah,
So
dude.
almost 500 total
Almost
offensive
500
yards
total
from
offense
one
from
person.
and 4 touchdowns.
And 4 tuds. Oh
Yeah.
my, that's a game.
Dude, and he would
That's
run
a
away. He was
game.
running away from guys.
That's a whole team's game. In the NFL, you would love to see that game across your whole team.
So what do we think about Beck's performance? He threw for a lot of yards and touchdowns, but 3 picks.
The picks early on. The one was the receiver didn't hot route because he got
So wrong. They
throw,
weren't on the
return,
same page.
throw because it was a blitz. So Peck caught it, turned, and came out throwing it, and the receiver just went, and they went right to the defensive back. Boom.
Okay. So
And then the other pick was not seeing. I don't know what he was looking. He did not see like the linebacker coming over the middle. And then the
Just
third
the best
pick was
read.
at the end of the game. He just
Just trying to come back.
Yeah, trying to chuck it downfield.
Well, and
giving
honestly,
your
that
receiver a chance.
No, I don't-
Sometimes
I
that
think-
backfires, but you got to.
I think the third one, I was so upset by number 8 didn't fight for that ball
Yeah.
at all.
No, he
just watched it and tried to catch it. You know that ball's short. You know you were 2 yards
Go
past
and get it.
Tackle the fucker. You know you take the penalty. Move back. We have to have this ball.
Yeah.
That is all that matters. Punch him in the throat. Punch his mama in the throat.
Hey,
no, I'm
whoa,
just kidding.
whoa,
We
whoa.
love mamas. I'm sorry. That was a little
Jesus.
aggressive. No, we love him too. No, I'm just saying though, like. You have to, whatever needs to be done to. He didn't fight for that ball. The third one was it was on Beck. He did throw the ball in the wrong place.
Yeah.
But you have over 500 yards of offense on both sides.
Yeah. I can't wait to see.
But it was always catch up from Georgia.
Well,
It was
yeah.
always catch up from Georgia
They're
in the
playing
sense,
behind.
and I think that's why you can't give Carson Beck the nod that you can to Jalen Milroe. Now he did kind of go cold in a little section in the middle of the game where that defense also went a little cold and let him back in, let him take a lead.
Well, I mean, after this performance, so you think he's at least out on the Heisman first round pick? He still could be that guy.
Right. I'm more interested in seeing where
First number 1 pick.
people think of Milroe now. Like he threw some balls last night. At
Yeah,
one
there-
point he was like
there will be a
he was
knee-jerk
he was
reaction.
11 for 11
right.
at one point going into that, and then he had the one ball should have been 12 for 12. He threw it low, but the receiver should have caught it, but let it get too deep on him and it hit the ground. Otherwise, he only had 6 incompletions.
Well, and again, I think Alabama getting Washington's coach was the best for
Oh,
Milroe.
dude, it's huge. I'm so I don't want to say I'm so rooting for Alabama, but I am rooting for fucking
DeBoer.
DeBoer.
Yeah.
If Grubbs wouldn't have gotten the Seahawk job and it would have been DeBoer and Grubbs up there, Milroe would be on another level. Not that he hasn't stepped in and played very well this year. And no, your Heisman bet is not looking shabby by
wish he
any
would've been.
It
means.
was, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
odds
I
are
know
he's
it's a
gonna do more.
metaphorical bet, but as far as, like, you know,
We liked it.
It was kind of an easy one to go with just because of the team, because of the ceiling we saw even last year.
And then with DeBoer going down there, I was like, dude, he's just
Yeah.
going to open him up.
Yeah,
and look,
so-
last game was impressive. Watching him throw the football last game was impressive. He threw lasers, but he also had touch on balls.
He missed a couple of throws that could have really closed that game out a little bit
Yeah.
better at the end of the game, which is kind of tough. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be a couch warrior and nitpick a 500 yard performance. Good lord!
Great TV for us fans.
Oh my
great
dude! I
TV.
texted the chat earlier and I was like, "What a great game to start when it was 28-0," and then the next drive they scored and I was like, "Well, okay." And holy balls, dude! 34-33. That the fact that Georgia did even come back to take the lead is pretty crazy.
And it's something they needed too, because if the game ended like how it started, that Georgia.
Have the new rankings come out this week yet?
I haven't
We're
seen
close.
them
I think
yet.
we're an hour away. We're recording at 9:30 Pacific, and I think it comes out at 10 Pacific, 1 p.m.
Because it's going to be
Eastern.
interesting. Does Bama go to 2, or does Ohio State go up to 2? with that kind of a win.
Sure, but it's funny because you're trained to the old psyche of thought, which means that matters. In this current day and age, it doesn't. 1 through 4 all get buys in the upcoming college football playoff.
You 1 through.
It's 1 through 4.
Are your conference winners 1 through 4, not your highest 1 through 4?
Yeah,
you could still not be a conference winner and not be in the top 4 and be 1 through 4.
Do they have to seed that way? Do they have to seed through conference champions?
The first 4 are all the conference champions.
Is that how it's written into? Okay, all right. I believe
that's why Miami can be your 4, but still not be ranked.
But
they got a good dub on. They had to come back from win on Friday.
That was the most epic game.
Which might not be. I need to see the highlight because we were.
I watched it.
I watched it live.
It was close.
Oh no,
that Hail Mary at the end.
I don't know. It was Fail Mary 2.0. It wasn't as egregious as the Seahawks Packers, but there was no right answer. You had no clear defined answer.
But they changed the call.
They did, which is nuts.
Which is nuts.
They shouldn't have called it a touchdown. They should have called it an incompletion.
And that's why I think they
went back because
you call it a touchdown,
right?
So you can go
which
back
is
and look at
nuts. It was nuts. It was not a defined touchdown.
So
there were so many bodies.
It probably should have stayed a touchdown. In my opinion,
overall, by the letter of the law, yes, because you couldn't define it as a
Correct.
true incompletion. This is the whole.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing to define in football is what is a catch. I mean, really, because it's different on different plays sometimes.
I understand calling it a touchdown
so fast.
And I understand calling it a touchdown on the field so that you can go back and replay it because it's an automatic replay. Any scoring drive is automatic.
That's why
but
they
then
call
to
it that
not
way.
be able to
justify why you overflipped it because
man, the visual evidence was rough.
that was the problem.
0 to none is what everybody was saying.
Looking at it from just anybody who's watched 1,000,005 football plays, you would have said it was incomplete.
Yeah,
but no video evidence truly concluded that.
Yeah, when you watch the highlight, I don't think you can tell. But again, maybe when they can stop the play and you can. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes even a difference with that play.
So the way it all really went down, if you break down this play and if you watch this game, the receiver had his hands on it first. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he secured the catch.
Yeah, because just look what happened in the Nebraska-Illinois game last week. When the one Nebraska receiver went up to catch it for a touchdown, but when they came down, the Illinois guy had it, and it was a pick.
There you go.
And it turned that whole game. It turned that game around. That touchdown would have kind of shut Illinois out at that point.
Yeah.
It's because both players get their hands on the ball.
Have the right to the ball.
Whoever kind of ends up with it, that's where they.
But I think there's so much movement. There's so much movement that you can't necessarily say that there was true possession. But
it's tough.
His hands are locked on it. Like from here to here, it's a catch, and then you lose everything as it goes to his stomach, and then the next thing you see, the ball rolls out. You have no idea what happened from his chest to his stomach. You're thinking it's moving because it's out with the next thing that you see, which is what the replay officials had to go with.
Yeah.
I mean, and Miami would have rioted had that been held up as a touchdown.
What other games we got?
Oh my lord!
I mean, the
was
Arizona
epic. Look
taking
that
down
up.
Utah.
Yeah, big win by
Top
Arizona.
10 upset.
Yeah,
That's a top 10
number
upset.
10 Utah, unranked Arizona, but we are all
Utah's-
thinking Arizona's pretty good.
Utah's
this year.
offense was non-existent. Let's put it that. A
Still
lot of drops,
without
dude.
Cam Rising.
But a lot of drops. Yeah, still without camera. A lot of drops. Their receivers couldn't, and I couldn't find a drop stat because I was looking for it last night. They don't put drops in college for some reason, or at least it doesn't show it. Dude, there were a lot of drops last night by the Utah Utes. Man,
Utes.
get some fucking hands, bro. You guys should have been in that game a lot more. But drops kill drives.
We already kind of touched on the Illinois Penn State game.
Penn State ran away in the second half.
Yeah.
Dominated the second half. Their second half stats are insane. Look them up.
It's a big. That's a Big
each
10 matchup.
Each 4 games they've played, they haven't given up over 100 yards in the second half or something.
That's a wonderful stat. If that is anywhere near true, that's balling on the defensive end.
Dude, Illinois could not do anything in the second half of that game. Penn State gave
Put it
him
on.
every fucking
Were they in
opportunity.
Happy Valley?
Yeah, dude. It was
Yeah,
rough.
that
It was fucking
whiteouts are
rough.
fucking nuts
It
out
was
there,
rough.
dude. That's like 111,000 dedicated people, dude.
SC got a dub. Oregon got a dub.
Yeah,
Dylan
SC
Gabriel looks
was
pretty good.
A little bit worried early in the game.
Dude, they
That's
But
kinda
they got it
your-
going.
That's
Miller
kinda
Moss takes
your
some
MO.
fucking shots, man.
Dude, he
It
did.
feels so bad. Dude, our offensive line does not block for the kid, and the kid is playing a hell of a year.
That
And
touchdown rush that he had, oh my
Dude, he did a
goodness.
shot
The
on
spin
that, too.
move.
He's taking a lot of hits, man. That really kind of worries me.
I feel like that is when an offensive line thinks that they have a mobile quarterback or somebody who can escape or run. I feel like they almost like allow more, pressures to see if their quarterback can create. I hope I'm wrong on that, but it does feel that way though, doesn't it? Like all these rushing quarterbacks have terrible offensive lines. Is that?
Well,
Am I
it's a
making
little
that
bit
up?
of
Well, I think we're going to touch on that
It
in
helps.
the second segment about offensive play and play in general.
Yeah, it helps to have a mobile quarterback when you have a bad offensive line, but sometimes that quarterback can hold on to the ball and make it difficult for the line.
Oh man, that's true. That is a part of that narrative I did not take into consideration at that point. Is if your QB is just holding on to that rock, it's going to be a long day.
Other games, 15, Louisville goes down to 16, Notre Dame.
Right, that was a great
24.
game. That was a great game overall.
Good game.
Notre Dame ended up, just kind of.
How'd our boy do?
Leonard did pretty damn well. I think he went for 2 tuds and a rushing as well.
Yeah, he had 2 passing touchdowns, only 163 passing, but he did have 52 on the ground with another touchdown.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kansas State kind of blew out Oklahoma State.
Yeah. K-State's playing good football, man.
They're
Another
a
ranked
roller coaster,
matchup.
though. They're kind of one of those. Didn't they just drop a game like a couple of weeks
yeah,
ago?
they
were
lost
a really
to-
good fucking opponent.
They lost
last
to
week, wasn't
last
it?
week. They lost to.
they got
It
mushed.
was last week. Yeah, BYU creamed them
That's it,
38
yeah.
to 9.
Yeah.
BYU had to come back from behind this week to get the dub. I'm pretty sure.
Baylor? No, they
beat
Baylor
them, but then
pretty well.
Baylor put on. Oh, did they beat them pretty well?
They
Good.
beat Baylor pretty well. Yeah, BYU's playing some good ball.
And the week before, Kansas State beat Arizona when Arizona was ranked, and that's why they weren't ranked this week. And then also
That's a whole lot right there.
Kentucky beating number 6 Ole
That's
Miss.
big.
huge.
That is.
It's surprising to see the score too. It wasn't a shootout. Didn't seem like Ole
Gosh.
Miss was scoring very many points.
What, they put up 6, right?
No.
No, that's the rank. With 10? What was the final score?
It is 2017, so it
They
got
missed,
close.
they,
at
missed,
the end.
they missed a field goal at the end of the
That
game
was
to
it.
tie.
But no, 17 is unacceptable as an SEC offense at home.
Number 16, or supposed to
what
be
I'm
number
saying.
16 in the
Right.
country from the SEC. A lot of high hopes of
A lot
them
of mint
being
in this punch.
a playoff team. Maybe not after that performance, man. That's discouraging for sure.
That fails the eye test. If you're gonna have a top 10 loss, you got to make it okay. 20-17 is a competitive game. Kentucky is not the football program that they have been the last couple of
Kentucky
years.
almost beat Georgia in week 2, though. Remember, Georgia snuck
Kentucky's-
out of that. Georgia snuck out of that week. That game was super close. It was
Okay.
like
I don't
20 to
remember
17 or something. Yeah, Georgia had a tough one with Kentucky week 2. So
This year?
Yeah, so Kentucky's
Okay.
playing good ball
Okay,
right now.
well then I'm sorry.
If they were in a different conference, they'd probably be a lot better off. But yeah, the game against Georgia, it was
13 to
13-12, man. What a score. What a score.
Okay,
Dude, that's
I
insane.
gotta eat some crow on that one. That's impressive. There's not many other teams that
Well,
are gonna compete with Georgia.
Georgia, I think everybody was a little high on just because they're Georgia and they've had some great recruiting classes, but they lost a lot and the team hasn't been as advertised.
And Texas
this
is rolling,
far.
and Alabama's rolling.
Yep.
So
Those schools look like it.
offensive juggernauts both ways
Texas
too.
is like rolling. Though.
Rolling.
Texas hasn't
with backup
seen-
quarterback.
hasn't
Chucking
seen
the ball all over the
and then
fucking
going
yard,
into the
dude.
big house and really like that to me right there is currently defining them as the number 1 team, because all of the other teams we just mentioned have had struggles. Their biggest test, they went on the road into a formidable. No, they're a broken down opponent. Yes, because they lost a lot of talent. But I'm just
Michigan
saying.
also is kind of figuring a lot of things out.
Dude,
They're playing a new quarterback
and they're
now.
just running the fucking football.
But you're trying to tell me going to the big house isn't rattling? right?
No,
you know what
it's
I mean?
definitely rattling.
I think Texas is easily number
I'm just
one.
saying
Texas.
that's right, exactly. That's the biggest win of a top 5 program this year. It's not even close.
I mean,
even this
the
2v4
Georgia,
last night. I don't know.
Not bigger. I think that's a better matchup.
I think it's a
though.
bigger win.
I
don't
say
think
it's a better matchup, but I just think that like you kind of look at that game and you're like, Alabama kind of pissed it away. Why did they let their boot off of the gas? Or, you know what I mean? They were up 28-0. How do you even get back to 34-33? You technically had to scrape the end of that
Well,
to
Georgia's
win the
a good
game.
team.
They
I get that.
Have a pretty good quarterback and some good players on that Georgia
I'm not
team
saying
still.
they don't, but you're at home up by 4 scores. Up by 4 scores going into the second half. And it was a 1-score game that you had to pick off in the end zone to seal it.
Hey, Kirby Smart's a good coach. He made some
1-6
adjustments.
against
They got
Bama.
good talent. They made it close.
They did, and I think but that's why I don't put the shine on Alabama the same way that I do on Texas going into Michigan and handling business.
I don't think Michigan's that
good.
team. I think
Fair enough.
we'll see how they finish.
I was the only
I'm
person-
expecting more losses from Michigan
I am
down the
too.
road.
All right.
That's
Do you
it's
think
just too
either-
much after
so
last year.
Georgia and Bama will not lose another? Like Bama will go undefeated now, and Georgia will not lose another game. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. It's going to be close.
there's some good matchups, but I think even if they drop another, it's going to be to like a highly ranked SEC school.
It fucking better be right. You're in conference play now, so it better be.
And yeah, even that's not gonna. It's not gonna keep them out of the playoff. Those teams are destined for the playoff.
Sure.
They'd have to lose 3.
Yeah.
So let's jump into some NBA talk. Big trade.
Oh my goodness.
Shifting
Carl
sports.
Anthony
Shifting
Towns
sports.
traded to the New York Knicks for Julius Randle, Devontae DiVincenzo, and a protected first-round pick. DiVincenzo.
Good job.
For a protected first-round pick. That puts the Knicks pretty high in the.
They were already.
But do you think how big of an upgrade is Carl Anthony Towns over Julius Randle?
I mean, he stays healthier than Randall.
Yep.
And having him on the court can be the difference maker because if they
Having
would have
some
had
size,
Randall, like
they would have
in
won.
the playoffs, they would have been in such better shape to possibly be in the championship last season. Now you got a guy that can stay healthier and put up, or is probably a better off. He is a better offensive.
He's
player.
a better offensive player.
So I think this is a big win. I mean, the Knicks fans, I think you got to be feeling it. Like I like the players that they lost, but Carl Anthony Towns, I think, still the better.
I do too.
Well, they were
It's the bigger play.
heavy on guard play.
Yep.
So moving DiVincenzo is actually a gift for that squad.
Yep.
And then all you have to do is get rid of a guy who unfortunately has given you like 60 games in the last 2.5 years.
And been hurt for the playoffs.
Yeah. And like it's not when he's a stud, he's a stud. But what's your best ability?
Availability.
Get on the court, dog.
And-
That
But if
puts
he
him with next to Gobert now. So
Yeah. I mean, if he could stay healthy, I kind of like him and Ants.
in Gobert, it does.
He still gets a good situation.
Right,
No, I'm
yeah.
still not upset. If I'm Julius Randle and I go to play with Ant and
I'd be-
Gobert, I'm
I'd be-
not upset by
no.
any fucking
Well, and I
means.
think he kind of could use that fresh start. There
1,000%.
was some
No, this is a
issues in New
win-win.
York.
This is a win-win. But I do think that, especially with New York, and I brought it up in the chat, was that like they traded for Mikal Bridges with 4 first-rounders literally a couple of months ago. So this is true all-in from the Knicks.
Yep.
They are seeing there's a
Haven't
weak.
seen this
there's
Knicks
there's a weak
in a
East,
long time.
and there's no dynasty in the NBA right now. There's nobody who is truly like this is wide open. We're going into this year wide open, gents. Like I mean, there will
Who
be
won last year?
The Celtics.
Exactly. And I had to ask myself that too.
didn't.
So I'm glad that you answered it. But like I was because it's
That's
been
why
a
I
different
didn't
it's been a different champion every year for
Yeah, it's-
4 years now, 5 years now,
Yeah.
which is not NBA-esque. It's very dynastic. That as an association is more dynastic than any other one in except for maybe early baseball, obviously. But
does that
like,
put does that put the Knicks top in your East pick right now?
Without-
or just off top of your head,
yeah,
pretty
yes,
close?
Yes, it has to.
I mean, you guys still got to give the Celtics. I mean, they brought the team back, so it's them and the Knicks that I feel like.
And they did pay their stars.
and
it's
then
true.
maybe the Bucks after that. Because if this
Just
puts-
'cause of
this move-
Giannis.
this
Well,
move
you
puts
love
them
Giannis.
above-
and
we-
the Sixers
we
though
all-
too.
Oh, and the Sixers
Giannis.
too.
Yeah, bringing
George.
in Paul George. That's the expectations are
The
high.
but the name there carries more weight than what PG's
Probably.
been able to do. Overall, I love his game, but dude, it just for some reason he's never gotten over the hump. He's never stayed healthy for a full season since he was a fucking rookie.
Careful with those
Not
table
a
pounds.
rookie. Table pound. I was trying to put thumb out and I table pounded it. But he just hasn't he's been load management between him and Kawhi. The fact that they tried to play on the same team with load management was insane. And with them giving the Sixers are potential if you can even remotely get 80% of the games out of those dudes. That roster is thick. But if you catch that true injury bug in Kawhi, or not Kawhi, but if Embiid goes down, if George goes down, if Maxey goes down.
Health is the most important aspect for
Lord.
that team when the playoffs come, because they should be good enough to get there, even if they're not the top seed. If they can get healthy for the playoffs, they'll be a challenge.
Maxey became a star last year. We
Yep.
all kind of thought
He really stepped in. He was that like developing star the year before, where you're like, yo, this kid
You
could
see
ball,
it.
and then he balled last year.
Yep.
For sure.
Dude,
Dude.
playoff time.
Oh,
Getting
yeah.
close, boys. We're right there. Today's the last day of
I
baseball.
hate how much I love that A's hat, by the
Dude,
way.
it's
Like
sick.
it's so
All
clean.
A's out.
It's
We'll
so
get to
clean.
That we'll get to that
So
later.
clean.
Yep.
Dude, it's playoff time, boys. Basically, the AL's set.
Yeah.
So right now, you got New York's your number 1 seed. Baltimore's a wild card, so you get 2 from that division. Dude, nobody thought 3 teams were going to come from the fucking Central.
No.
Cleveland is the division winner with the 2 seed.
Gardos.
Detroit and KC right now are the 5 and 6,
been hot.
and they're each a game apart. So depending on what happens, could switch them from one to the other. But they're each of the 5 or 6 seed.
Sure.
And then Houston's the 3 seed and the winner of the West. Hate that a lot. But dude, it's almost playoff
We
time.
folded, man.
Yeah,
Mariners,
you
I
guys
can't
did.
even. We had a 10-game lead halfway
did.
through the season, dude, and we folded. And I don't know, man. Firing Scott Service was not my first choice of action. He had done a lot of good for our franchise and brought us back to the postseason and built a good roster and had been competitive. And I just think it's these splash moves that you see across all leagues now, not just the MLB, but anything. We need new fresh blood. It's gotten stale. We're not doing what we need to. By all Mariners metrics, he's the best skipper we've had since Lou Piniella.
Your boy went 2020 again. First, well, he's up there and now is like his first 3 seasons in the major leagues. He's gone 2020.
Sure, which is great, but like
His batting average, he's got to get
has
up.
been
He's gotta get on
minimal,
base
and he
more.
was hurt a decent amount of this year as well.
Got to get on base more.
Yeah, there's improved. Dude, fielding, that kid's amazing, and then like dingers, Julio's got it too. He does need to work a little bit more on his small game, but overall, like, fuck Houston, and let's go Mariners 2025.
It's going to be interesting to see because it's looking in. You want to see like maybe the Orioles, one of those central teams, Indians or not Indians, Guardians.
I want to see
One of those central teams would be cool.
I don't want to see the Yankees.
I don't, but I want to
Not
see
at all.
Judge succeed.
Nor
it's
the Astros. You're a little torn.
Yeah,
on-
it's like I want to
sure.
see Judge succeed.
You don't want to
Push-
see
it's the
that
push
Yankees
pull.
Dodgers World Series?
No, never. I want. Okay, so let's get to the NL. Phillies have clinched.
Awful.
Phillies have clinched.
Shohei and Judge, though, that would draw so many eyes.
It would.
No, the names alone, that would be the most watched World Series in our lifetime since, probably the mid-90s kind of thing.
Baseball. That's
Like,
what baseball's rooting for right now.
it is. No, media outlets are crying for
Please.
that.
They've been
for
crying
sure.
for it for years.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So you get the Phillies are the number 2 seed, winners of the East. Right
Okay.
now, Atlanta and the Mets are still fighting to make the play to see which one's the next. So it's not.
It's not decided, huh?
No.
Okay, but okay.
And Arizona. So those 3 teams are all fighting to make
That's
the
your
5 and 6.
defending NL champion, right?
Yeah,
And
5 and 6 between 3 teams with 1 game in between them all.
How crazy is that the Rangers are already eliminated, the AL, they won. The defending champs are out, and we could possibly not see the defending NL champions not get into the playoffs as well.
It's crazy.
That That's baseball, baby.
Yeah.
That's why baseball is so
Year to year.
fucking interesting. Yeah, unless you're the fucking Dodgers. God.
Or the Yankees.
Fuck not even
Yankees
the
have been-
Yankees.
not anymore.
Literally just the Dodgers. Or I guess the Astros as well. They've been there. They've been in an AL.
Consistent.
They've been in the AL championship series, the ALCS, for like 7 years in a row or some shit.
Then we got the Brewers filling out the 3 seed in the Central. The Brew Crew always there.
Crew.
Dodgers getting the number 1 seed. Winners of the West, and right now San Diego
Big
is your
better be.
first wild card. So your next 2, your 5 and 6
Look,
seeds have not been picked.
The
and it
pods
comes
do
down
the
to
dump.
this.
The pods go back to like a more of a farm built team. They do the dump. They get rid of some big contracts, and they're on a playoff cusp. Like baseball,
And being healthy.
Baseball is they
got like a Tatis has played all year. Machado's played all year. That you had the one rookie
that
kid.
alone, yeah.
You had the one rookie kid that played all year. You had the
Good
one
job.
rookie kid that played all year. So
worked.
he's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. I can't think of his name right now, but he's
sorry,
probably going to
can't
win
help
Rookie
you.
of the Year. So the Padres being healthy, pitching, working out. They had a lot of big name pitchers that didn't really pitch very good either. So you got one of them, Blake Snell.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I
I'm
was
super
hoping he
stoked.
was coming to Seattle. If I was honest, he's a Seattle boy. I was hoping he was going to come up back to the Northwest and thicken out that starting roto. Mariners. Oh, Mariners breaking my heart.
But ready for our two players we just talked about, Ohtani Judge's numbers. Finish out the season, boys.
Let's
Sure.
give us some
Okay.
AL and NL MVP numbers.
Ohtani right now, last game, he's
Okay.
hitting 210,
310.
310.
Yep.
The guy for the Padres is hitting 314. Say the guy for the Padres has to go like 0 and Tony has to go like basically 4-4, 3-4, something like that. If he overtakes this guy on the last day, Ohtani would win the triple crown. Be the first time since like 1952, boys. He's hitting 310 right now
damn it.
with 54 bombs and 130 RBIs and 58 stolen bases. Those are his offensive numbers.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Baseball.
Dude. Aaron Judge hitting 322. Oh, yeah, okay, so 322, 58 home runs. He at one point just a little bit ago, he was 5 games in a row of hitting a home run. Batted runs, 144.
So how is he not? He's triple crown then. He's got to be triple crown.
No, because you have Bobby Witt and Vlad Guerrero ahead of him. Bobby Witt's
in batting average.
Yeah, Bobby Witt's hitting 332 and Guerrero's hitting 324. That Bobby Witt dude, up and coming shortstop dude, he's like the next dude.
No, but I'm just
Because
saying
he's hitting.
that's substantially above.
He's
what
got like
Judge
30
is
plus
doing,
bombs,
too.
and he's got like 40 RBI or 40 stolen bases with like some good amount of RBI. So Witt, keep your eye on that kid for KC, and we get to see him in the playoffs. So
Nice.
that's the other thing too. The Detroit team and the Royals are young, man.
Yeah.
The Cy Young from the AL is going to be on Detroit. Skubal, Skubal, Screwball.
Screwball.
He's going to win the Cy Young, so keep an eye on him in the
Okay.
playoffs.
Do you think the Cy Young Award has been like, I guess, downgraded in recent years? I almost feel like winning a Cy Young. You got so many no-namers that have Cy Youngs in the last decade or
I
two.
think it's-
One-offers,
And I
guys
think
that you just.
Some of that is the reason why it's not like, hey, Verlander's going for a 6 Cy Young, where it's like kind of more pumped up. It's a lot of these guys that are like only going for their first and second Cy.
Right,
It's not
right.
like you have like the guys that are. Think back in the day when we always had like, you got Greg Maddux is always going for a Cy Young. You had the whole like
Randy
pitching
Johnson.
staff was
You
Randy
had,
Johnson
no,
was always.
absolutely,
not
you
the
They
had-
were
same
saying
dominance.
dudes every day.
Yeah, Roger Clemens. You had no, absolutely.
just
And I
had
think it's
weird
also
dude.
because look at we talk about innings pitched. The innings
Are
pitched
minimally
are,
not.
not some guys are doing a lot.
Skeens is fucking insane, dude.
Good call.
Paul Skeens has been an incredible player to watch this
I got a
season.
screenshot of
Like,
that, dude. He is.
he has changed what not changed but reverted, I guess, to what an MLB pitcher can do. He's old school.
11-3, 1.96 ERA, 0.95 WHIP, and 170 strikeouts is what when he came up
Rook,
What's up?
Rook,
dominating.
just showing up and saying, "What's up?"
Now it's about him staying healthy
Sure.
for his career.
Yeah.
That's the next
1000%.
part. You can't
Yeah.
we can't because you get some of these guys come up and they
Anybody
pop,
can be a
and they
flash in
get,
the pan.
yeah.
for sure. So Skeens, brother, you got to stay.
You got to try to stay healthy, man. That's
Yeah,
big.
absolutely.
Because he's the next. He's the dude, right? Like he's
the
the
dude.
he's
On the mound for
he's
sure.
supposed to be the next guy coming up.
Agreed.
like through like the pitchers that are going to dominate. Dude, let's go. Well, Chuck's not done. Me and Trev are going to fill up our brews, and we're going to come back with some NFL talk. He's hiding because we want to show you how much he's got left.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna drink it off pod. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys.
Oh no! All right.
We're gonna be all right.
It was just a small spill. All right, what are we drinking?
That's tasty.
It is German style lager. It's a Marzen. Yeah, Oktoberfest by Josef Brewing Company. So
Is this one of the ones you got at Trader Joe's?
Oh, you can
Yes, it
definitely
is.
tell by the can that it's definitely, yeah. I think they outsource. Well, they obviously do. I don't know. Like, okay, these guys are from San Jose, California. Or do you think they're all German? They're called Josef's Brau
Probably.
Brewing
I
Company.
mean, that sounds pretty.
It's
German.
really good. It drinks
It's
at a
delicious.
5.3. It's a Marzen.
Little step down from that 9% we
We
started.
needed to.
Just a little bit.
Golly, man. That made
It's all
me
good,
hit me
brother.
It's all good, brother.
Hitting dingers.
Hitting dingers.
That's all we want in this house.
Hitting dingers. Dingers and tutties.
Dingers and
Dingers and
We need
tutties.
to get a sports bar and call it Dingers and Tutties, dude.
That'd be sick. Dingers, tutties, and dunks. Get your beer, your
That's
food.
trademarked already, brothers. Don't go out there and try to take none of that. Dingers and Tutties is the Balls and
Money.
Brews brand. Yeah, absolutely.
Dingers and tutties is an offshoot.
Oh,
Balls and
my
Brews.
Lord, that's hilarious.
Dingers and tutties.
Dude, speaking of tutties, we're in the middle. We just kicked off week 4 as we started this recording. It's kind of why we came back a few minutes late because we were watching some Red Zone.
Got caught up in it.
A little bit now.
Before we jump to those scores, let's just touch on a couple games last week that
There were some great games last week. Just some stunners.
we're
and
not.
some,
Yeah, we're not gonna go through the whole one, but yeah, there were some good ones.
Sure.
Eagles Saints close all the way. Eagles pulled away 15-12. Not a lot of offense, a whole lot of defense that
Yeah.
game. But Eagles with another close win. Saints with a close win. I don't think it changes any. Does it change any of your views of what either of those
those
teams?
teams?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Still not quite on the Saints
Well,
bandwagon, but
the-
kind of slowly falling off the Eagles.
The Saints, though, that was kind of a gut check because of how, I mean, the first 2 weeks went for them with that
Yeah.
offense is high flying, and they kind of came back to earth pretty quick. So there's a little bit of something there. I want to see how the Saints play today, how that works out for them.
I thought the Saints were going to get punched in the mouth week 2. I thought week
Yep.
1 was a fluke. So I wasn't, when they ascended week 2 as well, when they came back down week 3, it was like, there's the leveler, right? Like, okay, your first 2 weeks.
We were kind of waiting for that shoe
They,
to drop.
they got the Falcons today, so we're interested to see what happens there. Eagles wise, anything changing there for you?
No. I think that there's still enough there to obviously with the Cowboys faltering.
To win the East, but
Yes.
you're not really pushing for much of the. You're not the best NFC team right now,
Let's go, Commanders.
dude. We'll get to them, dude. We'll
Daniels
get,
had, yeah.
We'll get to them,
Agreed,
dude. That was one of the games we were gonna bring up.
overall, though, no. The perception of the Eagles for me are still right about the same.
Okay, me too. Like I said, it's still not ready to jump on the Saints bandwagon, and I've never really been on the Eagles one, but
Yep.
it's kind of falling.
Because it's not the talent; it's the coaching.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Vikings fucking roll the Texans, 34-7, boys.
Boom.
Roll
Boom.
the Texans.
That's
Dude,
an-
Brian Flores, dude, is
That's an
doing.
undeniable final score.
Brian
right?
Flores is doing an unbelievable job as a defensive coordinator
Yes, he
of the
has,
Vikings.
clearly.
He is up there.
He's
as
giving up
one-
like 10 and 7 or
and-
something
and
like that.
Even last year with kind of a depleted team, they still played pretty well
hard.
defense.
They played hard.
But
And I think
dude, he's-
O'Connell is lead for Coach of the Year at this
Oh,
point.
it's not even
him
close.
and Matt LaFleur both are right there, 1 and 2. Coach 1, Coach
Well, I
2.
guess LaFleur, yeah, technically that one loss was with Jordan. What he
Yeah.
did with Malik Willis
It's
to bridge the
impressive.
gap is
Yeah.
insane, dude.
Impressive.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah, because they beat the Titans 30-14, dude.
Titans not impressive at all,
Not
though.
impressive. Broncos come out and get a first dub of the year, kind of smash the
Against-
Bronx. The Bucks in Tampa too.
Surprising. Oh,
Against-
Nix, though, looks like... I mean, that was a good game for him.
Yeah, which we thought he would be.
Yeah,
he's gonna.
we were
be,
all high on him,
Yeah.
I think.
Ravens Cowboys. Ravens let the Cowboys back in the game. Ravens have done that a lot this year. Look what they did with the Raiders. Let them back in for the win.
Guess who
not
didn't bring
closing
the
out.
bottle opener?
not
boy.
closing out. We'll have to pause at that point in time. Cowboys, again, no run game, handing the ball off to CeeDee Lamb. We called it. It's been ridiculous. It is ridiculous. They did get a win this Thursday against the Giants, and I think the Giants actually look okay. They needed to get touchdowns instead of field goals. But the Cowboys, I don't know. Commanders, man. What do you guys think of Ravens, Cowboys?
I mean, the Ravens are struggling to find like an identity, and then the Cowboys are pretty much kind of what I expect. Is they have talent at certain positions, but they're not talented at other positions. So,
do you want to know why I think that might be? Is because people were praising this Derrick Henry signing. It's not that Derrick Henry isn't a great player. He doesn't fit that scheme at all.
Well, that scheme, it's changed last season, so it didn't really fit him. And then they have a bunch of new pieces on that offensive line.
And that's been rough too. But if you're talking two of your biggest
the defense isn't
as
good.
good.
Ravens, dude,
you got their coach, and that, you see the difference.
Letting people back into games, dude. Up 20. What were they up? 28 to 13.
It was
28 to 10.
It was it was 28 to 6, wasn't it, or some shit? It was a 3-score game, I thought, at one point.
Yeah, it was 14. It was 28 to 6.
6, yeah.
Going into the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
and they gave 19 points in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Chuck Seahawks, he'll probably touch on in sex. Go undefeated, go to 3-0 with the win over the Dolphins, which the Dolphins do. We'll get into this injury stuff. They're playing fucking Huntley at quarterback this week. What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Trev's Niners let the Rams come back. Matt Stafford shows why he should be talked about as a Hall of Fame quarterback. Trev will probably touch on that.
Yeah.
Monday night, Bills just fucking walloped the Jags, and as my co-part down here said, man, that Josh Allen guy, he's kind of good.
Kind of good.
Well, Chuck, that train might be pulling away from the station, and it might be a non-Chuck allowed train if he doesn't get on that train pretty soon, though, Trev.
I love this. There was a lot of chatter last season about Josh Allen not being the guy. I just found it so ridiculous because everybody's like, oh, look at all these turnovers. Hey, he cleaned that up, and now how does he look? Oh, the best quarterback probably statistically in the league right now. Yeah.
Next week when we do our September MVPs, he's definitely got to be the MVP so far of the league.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Because the September MVP matters so much. Oh, that's great.
I think he's gonna be that for the season, though. That's what it looks like.
I'm going to go ahead and once again eat crow on where I wasn't able to. Brady has come in. Joe Brady has come in. They have gotten
it looked better when he did last year.
Addition by subtraction by getting rid of the diva and Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
Like
the run
Josh Allen is out there playing his game.
Yes, sir.
He's wheeling and dealing. He's seeing the field. He's remembering that he doesn't have to be a superhero. This is where Will Levis needs to grow. If the Titans are not going to give him enough time, then
not being a superhero, but not feeling obligated to make a certain
being a superhero.
No,
1,000%.
Yeah, make a certain play, make a certain read when it's not part. I know Stephon.
Just let it come to him, and it's just blossoming this year.
Dude, then everybody's getting catches. Kincaid's getting catches. The kid from Boise State, dude, is dominating. Dude, he's looking good. Cook is doing both out of the backfield.
Yes, been great.
Dude, they have a lot of pieces contributing all over the field.
Keon Coleman's played well. He got a
Max Hollins had catches.
Yeah,
dude. It's been a lot of dudes.
It's a team. It's a team.
It's a better team.
And I mean, when you're looking at it from like a PR standpoint, you kind of want the guy. Josh Allen is the guy, and he's got like a handful of guys who can play with him.
Dude, right? And they and you can tell that team is riding and dying.
I will, right, and the mojo, and I will. Okay, I'm not. Okay, damn it.
You know,
I support the Josh Allen train. I think that
He's on the
is
train.
full steam ahead.
Okay.
I'm not.
Chugga, chugga,
I'm
chugga.
not
I'm
going
driving.
to be right. Correct. And
So don't be pissing me
I
off, Chuck.
understand.
I'll be tossing
That's
you
what I'm
off the
saying. No, I
fucking
will.
train.
Right. Correct. Which is why I'm going to put myself on it in the back, and I'm just going to stay silent, and you just let me be there, and I'll take the last meals on the train. It's totally fine. I'll take whatever you got left.
He's riding that
Yeah.
caboose.
Yeah. I'm hanging out. But I'm still on the train, dog.
Are you jumping on the Jaden Daniels train?
Oh, dude, I drafted him, brother. I was on the Jaden Daniels train.
Dude, he's looked
Yeah.
really good. And you know what he's doing?
That game against Cincinnati was wonderful.
He's
Monday
running
night.
when he needs to run, but he's also playing from the pocket.
Yes.
1,000%.
So he is
1,000%.
he is totally playing from the pocket and only runs if that's like what is needed.
His week one was more runny, but
Right.
like I could.
Dude,
it's week one.
Dude,
If
that
I-
throw to Scary Terry
I
on
love
the
Scary
side,
Terry.
dude. Oh, great catch, great fucking throw.
You know what has to also be taken into account? That was 2:10 left in the fourth quarter
Correct.
on third down with a guy
Money.
in his face. And he dials it up, dude. That's not middle of the third. Like, you know,
Dude,
you got
Dan-
a bunch of game left.
Looking like the early lead for
that
the
closed
rookie
the
of the
game
year,
out.
man.
That
That's who I
closed the
picked.
game out. I mean,
That was a good
that's-
pick. I mean, I went to, Caleb because I thought
I think I went
they
Caleb
had
too,
the
if I'm being
weapons,
honest.
but the
You know-
play calling and that offensive line
Yeah.
has caught up to them and made it look not so pretty in Chicago.
So you know who's playing? You know who's played good when they came in as rookies? Jaden Daniels. How many years did he play
A
college
bunch,
quarterback?
four full starts or years.
Brock Purdy. How many starts did he have?
Four.
Let's see. Who else is the rookies that have played good? Dax Prescott came in and played good. He started almost his whole career at college. Look at all these dudes that have been. Bo Nix is
I was
playing
gonna
better
say
than.
he's
Starting to look better than some of the other guys. There's
the only one who I can think spells that is CJ Stroud, right? He only had 2 years,
he had two. He's played really well.
and he's played really well.
CJ, I ate crow last year on CJ. So I mean, he played really well last year. So I mean, and then the Bengals 03 boys. Are we?
Oh,
what do you?
my
Are we?
Lord.
What's going on?
You have to panic,
Dude,
You have to panic. You haven't won a game. It's almost
Burrow's
a month
no-
into the season.
Burrow's numbers were good.
That's true too, which gives you a
Defense
little
has
bit of
not
faith.
been-
Defense, and then I really love that defense coordinator, Luke
See Amarillo, yeah.
Yeah.
Front end good, back end bad.
back end real bad.
Yeah,
Front end
they
good,
lost
back
the
end
safeties,
bad.
and there's no like leadership back there.
Yeah, Bates is on
The Falcons? Yeah. No.
Yeah. Dax Hill is a safety playing corner. You can't do a safety playing corner. You can have
No,
a
you
corner
gotta
play
go
safety.
the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
But yeah, so that's those games.
If
That's last
I'm-
week's games.
If I'm in the state of Ohio, if I am an Ohio football fan outside of the Buckeyes, I am panicking, dude. The Browns and the Bengals both have huge red flags. Like Burrow playing well is a good green flag,
And
you
Jamar
do-
Chase looked good.
Yeah,
And
so,
the Ravens, throw them in that group too.
Oh, red flags all over that. I spoke earlier to that with the idea that I don't think the offensive scheme is doing what it needs to do. Like, you didn't want to rush Lamar 12 times against the Chiefs, and then you didn't want to have him come back in the following weeks and, get smushed by the Raiders, and then what do you...
Let's go Bucks. Is that what you're
Bucks
saying?
up 14-0
God,
on
I'm
the
surprised none
Eagles.
of us picked that game. We'll
I
get
didn't want to
there.
stay
We'll
away
get
from
there.
that.
Just the injuries.
Yeah, so let's jump into this injury situation, boys. I mean, it's not good. Like Trev, you're rocking what? How many injuries you rocking?
I've lost count. I mean, to speak on last week's game, we were still in it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should have won that. I think it's not just the injuries with the Niners, at least, but like the play
Injuries
calling.
Really?
Well, not Shanahan per se, because the offense is actually moving, but we got a new defensive
Yep,
coordinator, and some of the defensive play calls have been very questionable.
Okay.
And I know he's kind of got to grow into that position, but it is costing us games now. Same with special teams. Team is not playing as a team.
That's 2/3 of your team, brother.
Yeah, that's why we have two
Faltered.
losses.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Charlie, why don't you touch on your game and your injuries?
Oh my lord, they do call well. So it's a flip of the script of the idea that we got the game done that we needed to get done, and we needed to beat a backup quarterback and then put him out too. Like it was a clean tackle, but we kind of busted his ribs up.
Got him
Skylar
good.
Holmes, yeah. Terrell Dotson has come over from the Bills. He stepped in for Milano last year and had the highest graded PFF score from week 6 on for a middle linebacker. He was incredible. Anyway, T-Dot has played wonderful. busted up Skylar Thompson. Tim Boyle was serviceable, but the game was already out of hand. We sacked the quarterback 6 times, but the unfortunate thing, our entire D-line is pretty much on the mend. Leonard Williams is out for Monday. Chenna Nwosu, who practiced, came back from the IR. He's eligible to come back, but we didn't take him off, is not going to play. Boye Mafe, who is our sack leader, is not going to play.
Minnesota.
Byron Murphy. Yeah. Yep, correct. Byron Murphy, who we just drafted, has a hammy. He's not going to play. So that's 4 defensive linemen, like starter / first rotational defensive linemen that are not going to play this game against a team that sets you up with the run. When Gibbs and Montgomery pop, you're not stopping that team.
That just makes me think of Hargrave. He just had like his best game against the Rams, and now
he's
he's
toast.
done for the season.
Tore his bicep, dude.
Oh my god! And before
Quick
we
recovery,
get to
brother. Quick recovery.
the Raiders, just like I gotta touch on Ayuk too, man. I mean,
I'm out on that fool.
it
That's
doesn't.
a local boy, so you must be out.
Dude, his little tantrum he threw the other day on his fucking wearing his shorts is like, dude, how old are we? You're not my fucking son. You're not 7 years old. You're fucking a
the
grown ass
right
man that
shorts
got
on,
paid
yeah.
fucking all this
Yeah,
cash.
he just
Start
got paid,
acting like
so
it.
is he? I mean, money changes some people. I'm hoping that he comes around,
interesting.
but he doesn't seem to be on the same page right now as the rest, or is where we want to go and where he was last year even.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he just acts like a baby man. I don't like, and
baby
I don't,
man.
and I don't really like
a
I don't really-
baby.
Yeah,
Period.
a baby man.
Man,
No, baby man.
It's funnier that way. Just let
It's
it go.
funny, just let it roll.
A baby.
But the Raiders this week, I mean, we didn't need to talk about last week. One of the worst losses, and I could feel it. I just had this feeling, even when we were on pod, I just had this feeling they were going to do it, and they did it.
That's
Max
heartbreaking,
Crosby
man.
might be
That's heartbreaking.
Max Crosby might be out this week. Devontae is out. Michael Mayer is out. Devon Deblo is out. We've got 6 starters out this week. Going with the Browns coming in. I think Browns coming in to Vegas, but don't even really care about last week's performance. It was awful. That's a game that you're not a good team. You should have won that game to be a good team. You let them come into your house. And
You didn't even really look competitive, I think, is the problem.
Yep,
It'd be
100%.
one thing if it was just like a ball went this
Yeah.
way or a bad call or
You-
like, hey, we played our hearts out and we
you
just
got
lost
dominant.
it.
You got
You
dominant.
got mushed. Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy Dalton came in and
He bent you over and
I mean, yeah.
red rifled.
So since that game was so bad, I just got to ask, like, what do you think the answer is?
AI.
I
I'm sorry.
it's not.
I wasn't gonna miss my opportunity.
I don't know. It wasn't. I don't know if they weren't prepared.
Some guys made
It
business
didn't
decisions.
seem like it.
But the players did not play. That's a player loss right there.
Did you put that on coach?
I don't know. I still think Aiden O'Connell should be the starter. Gardner Minshew misses like throws like Anthony Richardson sometimes.
It's the ceiling versus the floor.
I think
It's
Aiden
Aiden doesn't push the ball down the field, and in today's NFL, that is what your hat is hung
But Aiden's
on.
like
period.
also gonna make the throw on 3rd and 6.
I
Gardner
agree.
sometimes
But
misses,
you're not
so-
going to sub him in for one play
No,
on
I
3rd
know.
and 6.
I think
That's
that
the problem.
and I think Aiden should have been the starter, start out. So I think the
think
hooks. I think the hooks early. I think the hooks early, depending on how Minshew looks this game, because he's only looked good for one half.
Do you bother looking for another quarterback, or
No, it is
O'Connell
what
would
it-
just be the
It is-
other guy?
It is what it is.
Okay.
I think that O'Connell is going to give you more true consistency. And maybe where Pierce is scared is that the running game hasn't opened up. If you had a better running game, O'Connell would dial right the
Losing
fuck
Jacobs
in.
hurts.
Well, the
man.
offensive line hasn't played
If-
very well.
no,
They are not playing well.
So
at
then it's all encompassing on that idea because
and one of our offensive lines hurt.
if O'Connell went to a team that had a good, he could be Darnold right now, esque.
I don't. He's not the
Not that good. He
doesn't have-
can't read as well. But
Well,
I'm just
I think
saying,
he might.
like,
I don't think he has the biggest. He doesn't have the big arm like Darnold, and he's not.
Darnold does have a big arm.
and
Yeah,
Darnold's
Darnold
pretty
does.
mobile too.
And since we brought Donald up, though, I mean, comeback player of the year looking like.
oh, no,
Yes.
I mean, it gets by the criteria. You know, if Geno won it the way he did,
Yeah,
then
I would say
Darnold
so.
would win it relatively the same way, unless you're talking DeMar Hamlin again because he got his first pick,
But-
against Jacksonville.
But just staying on the injury spot, there's a lot of injuries throughout the league this year.
Everywhere. The whole league.
you got-
Eagles
you
are
got-
beat up pretty good,
He's
too.
touched up.
Offensive
yeah.
lines that are beat up. You got receivers. Look at the Eagles aren't playing with Devontae Smith or Brown this week.
Falcons just lost 2 linemen last week. It's just everybody's missing somebody. That's good.
I think that when they sign these new CBAs without us having many practices, I think guys are getting hurt because they're not in football ready shape, or I don't know, it's a lot of soft tissue kind of stuff. And, I don't know. It just seems like we are really, really, really hurt this year.
And that kind of surprised me with the way a lot of the teams still approach preseason. You see, teams like the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, he's playing more. They have a lot of their starters playing more of the preseason because I think of the limited practices. And you see other teams treating it like it's the same, and them coming out with these slow starts. It seems like there's a correlation there.
It's like you're still using September, how the Patriots kind of used to use September kind of as a preseason.
Yeah.
It seems like more teams are kind of acting like that, where you're we're going to, these first 4 aren't as important. And then once we get through these first 4, we're using it as a preseason. And
I think that's actually good since we're having limited, since there's not as many preseason games, because people still pay to go to those preseason games. Yeah. You want to. It's a better product if you have your guys out there getting ready for when the games count, and I think it's evident.
Last year we had a lot of quarterbacks get hurt. This year we have a lot of other people get hurt. We have a lot of the weapons going down.
You have to learn.
Neighbors got a concussion.
You have to condition.
Thursday.
You have to condition yourself to be hit and to give hits. It's not just something.
Ain't the same as
AI. What's the answer? It's a running theme. Exactly.
And I think in all the sports, practice is so different.
Agreed. That's what I was about to say. In the NFL, I think it needs to matter more than people give it the attention to, because if you don't know, you can't go from 0 to 100%. These guys that are fucking around with not playing any snaps or barely even practicing, and then going and trying to run their hardest, catch their hardest, hit their hardest. You have to scale up to that. And that's what the preseason and those practices are for. I'm not saying if you are on the true mend and you are injured, don't practice. But if you're ready to go, you got to go.
And even for your older veterans, I've seen it with my team. Trent Williams hasn't looked like the same guy. I know I still think he can be that guy, but he avoids all the practice and avoids all the preseason and just pops in and thinks he's going to be that guy, and that's not the case.
That was crazy.
Was quite.
Before we start talking about this week's scores, what's going on right now in the NFL, let's get a cheers on this new brewski.
There we go.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
No spillage.
No spillage this time.
Dude.
It smells nice. Ooh.
Oh, it's delicious.
I love these limited releases.
From our friends at Deschutes in Bend, Oregon. My goodness.
Wow.
Sunny Citra IPA. It's a session, you guys, and you can clearly taste that.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
It's delicious. It's really good.
5%. So it's an all-day drinker, really.
Yes.
I mean, gee whiz.
That's the whole point. Gee whiz. We should have had another one behind this, because we're going to drink this real quick.
Well, some of us might.
It's
a really cool can. It's a really cool bottle, too. Check it out on our Instagram and X. It's really cool looking. I got it in the pack of Fresh Squeeze and Fresh Haze.
Nice.
A
That's
12-packer.
a good pack.
I was crushing a lot of that last night. It was a Fresh Squeeze and Fresh Haze. I was like, I'm not drinking this. This is for pod. But I was crushing the others.
I respect that. There are beers I've had to hold off on where I'm like, I can't wait.
And it's
to drink
fucking delicious.
It
is really good.
Yes.
Appreciate you, gentlemen. Appreciate you saving me beers. I have one for you. I have that Crooked Stave that you still need to drink.
Excuse me. Sorry.
You're excused. Don't apologize.
But let's talk about some games going on. There's some surprising scores right now, boys. I know we were kind of talking about while we were fixing the technical difficulties. Falcons go up 17-14 on a pick six. Rams and Bears. This is a zinger. 6-0. Rams. Vikings 21-zip. We bet on this game. Right? We took the Vikings.
Yes. I like the Vikings. I went with the Vikings. They've been playing so well. The head coaches are both. I mean, the coordinator and head coach, I should say,
I didn't think it was
out
going
of
to
this
be
world.
21-0 though.
So I mean, that's why I kind of like the line though too. Is everybody's been pretty high on the Packers coming into this season, and the Vikings are just that team right now. I mean, candidate for coach of the year,
You took him
cool
to the
comeback
Super
player.
Bowl. Yeah.
I did, and I had him win Coach of the Year too.
Exactly.
I think it was a good bet. Vikings right now are playing hot. We'll see what happens at the end of this game, but right now they are easily probably they're playing as one of the better teams in the NFL.
NFL
right now.
period.
Yeah, they're playing like the best team. Them and the Bills right now are the top two, I'd say,
I would totally agree.
for play wise. How they're playing.
Crazy. That's awesome. I love that. Thank you, NFL, for spurring the preseason stories, and like everybody was like, these people are gonna repeat and do these things, and like don't discredit the Chiefs. Like in a one-off game in the playoffs, they can still.
No, it's early,
like,
but to this point, those are the teams.
they're playing.
They're playing
the best consistently in the first month. Yes, inarguable of 2024. Yes.
Another game we bet on, we're missing.
Oof.
Colts up 17-0 on the Steelers.
What is going on,
We
Pittsburgh?
took the Steelers with like -1 or something.
It's just,
1.5.
I mean, I think we all thought that
The
defense,
defense was going to hold Anthony
especially against Richardson,
Yeah.
who's 3 for 4, missing wide open receivers in that.
When we were watching, we were on our breaks, dude. He totally missed the receiver in the flat.
A couple of times, yeah.
Oh, just once.
That
But
one's tough.
it's not
that
pretty.
One's tough. No, I don't think we're.
Joe
gonna capture
Flacco is
that
7 for 10 with a touchdown
Joe
Where-
Flacco?
Where's he playing?
for the Colts.
He
Anthony
took over
Richardson
for
is not in the game. Whether
he
he's
must have
hurt
got knocked out
or
He
something.
must have.
Joe Flacco is 7 for 10 for 58 yards
Now
and
I
one
understand
touchdown.
that score a little bit better though.
Why do you think? I think the Colts need to look. If Anthony Richardson's hurt again, they need to look at like actually getting a backup that maybe they can start like developing or something.
Or that they need to start. Period. Is it too quick to move off? This is the
I
Panthers
think it's
debate. This is what
too
the Panthers just
quick,
did.
but I was never an Anthony Richardson
Yeah, me
guy.
too.
I think that's a long-term project.
Thought he never should have started.
So like that's why you still give them time because of how raw he was, but you can't. There's so much work that needs to come for him to be that guy. I feel like of course, the talent is explosive. You see it at times, but it's not consistent in any means.
Not even close. He's under 50% on the season, isn't he? Or
So we'll have to see
just a feather above, like well below what you normally accept
That's
as
what I'm
a
saying.
starting quarterback.
Like if Shane Steichen-
65%, if you see 63 to 65%, you're vomiting. Like anything, like a 69 to 70 is what you're fucking aiming for. Dude.
If Shane Steichen had a half decent quarterback, dude, they'd be fucking rolling.
I mean, they were last year
that team
with
is loaded.
Gardner Minshew.
That team is loaded offensively.
If they had Kirk Cousins,
Yeah, I love their skill positions.
if they had Kirk Cousins with those wide receivers and Jonathan Taylor, oh my lord.
Even-
And his ability to call plays, because I
Bo
think
Nix
he's a
and
better
Eels.
play caller than Raheem Morris or whoever's offensive coordinator in Atlanta is right
Nate
now.
Robinson,
'Cause they
right,
have-
from the
they have a
Rams?
lot-
Did I just hit that out of the home
I
run?
think
They
that
have a
was-
lot of
that's good.
talent
That's
down
good.
there, but they haven't been able to unlock it really. Like,
Dingers and tutties.
dude, we need it, bro. Dingers and tutties. We might rebrand. You guys might welcome back to Pod 69 on Dingers and Tutties.
But yeah, there's that, and then the Steelers' offense is just fucking pathetic right now. Keep going down the line. Broncos and Jets is another exciting game. 3-0 Jets. Man,
Defensive
blow me out of the
battle.
water.
Garrett Wilson had a big fumble in the open field.
Yeah, that was ugly as fuck. Hold on. He just looked like he's holding the ball out for people to take away from him. That's not
Sniff
play,
it.
man.
You want to sniff my ball?
Bucks up 24-0 on the Eagles.
God damn.
That's what's
rolling.
happening
Bet that
down
one.
there.
We were looking at one point, and Jaden Hurts was 1 for 3, and Barkley only had 2 carries.
3 yards.
And we were like, well, how many
That
times
was
they had the ball?
17-0.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is just 2 for 8 for 11 yards to this point. So
And Saquon's only got 3 carries for 10 yards. Wow. Wow.
that is
This
some
might-
offense right there.
this might be the week, bro.
Oh, my God. Baker Mayfield's 19-24, 205, and 2 touches.
I mean, Baker Mayfield is embarrassing you,
He has
Jalen Hurts.
more attempts than the Eagles have offensive snaps, is what that sounds like.
Yep.
Yes.
That's insane.
I can't wait to see what the highlights of this game are and what's going on.
It's going to be a Tampa Bay highlight.
Well, it's to see what happened in the first half. Why do they? What's there's got to be? It said that the rookie had a fumble. The kid out of Iowa, he must have been returning a punt. DeJean, yeah, Cooper DeJean.
Cooper.
So he must have been returning a punt for the fumble.
Was he on? Is he? I didn't know he played that position.
Yeah, he's stud, dude. He's stud. That's why I liked him so much. Panthers, Bengals up 14-7 in Carolina. Jaguars and Texans. Jags are losing 13-14. Texans must have just scored. So a lot of close games in there.
Yeah.
And then our last bet, is the Sunday night game. We took the Bills over the Ravens. What do we got points on that?
I was like 2.5, wasn't it?
Yeah,
2.5. No, it was pretty easy if you're saying that the Bills are playing the best team.
Again, I felt it
ball
was
in
like
AFC.
that Minnesota
Best.
bet.
Yeah.
You're just playing the best football
But
right
them
now.
goddamn Steelers, the one time we fucking
I know we
come
can't bet
together
on-
as a Steelers
There's certain things we have
pick.
to. We should gonna start thinking about certain things. Who's playing quarterback for these teams? Because we cannot be betting on a fucking Justin Fields fucking led team
And
and an Anthony Richardson led team. Joe Flacco's 7 for 10. We'll see what happened there. What the hell is going on?
But I mean, that's kind of our perspective and why we made those bets. So if you agree with us,
shouldn't.
then
You should
jump
just,
on
like,
that train.
always not
But
agree with
if
us.
you were betting against us, didn't like those, then yeah, you'd probably be winning some money right now.
Cash flow. Vikings up 28 nut.
But we're good on
The Vikings
a little
scored
bit.
again. The Vikings just scored again. Son of a bitch, man. Not that I'm against it, but that's absurd. I didn't think they were
And
going to
I
go into
think-
Lambeau and be up by
Handle.
4 scores before halftime.
And I think they have the ball.
Get out of here, brother.
They have the ball too.
What's happening, Jordan Love? Put Malik Willis back in.
Sam
Also-
Darnold has 130 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Nice. Also, just to speak on those bets real quick, trying to get those out by Thursday before the Thursday game, just in case we bet on that. So if you're
We haven't
interested,
yet,
you
sure.
can check that out. We post them on X and
Jordan
Instagram
Love's
as
throwing
well.
2 picks.
Jordan Love, see that defense, man.
'cause he can't
They
step
gave
into his
Stroud
throws.
problems, and yeah, now he's not
banged
fresh,
up.
a little banged up, coming
Brian
back.
Flores got that defense on fire.
On fire for sure.
Dude, so the NFL full bore. Here we go. Monday night. Let's go Seahawks. Faith, 7 out of 10 because our defensive line is
In
banged up.
Detroit?
In Detroit, correct. I like a lot of
Detroit.
what's happening. Yeah, I'm sure as a Niners fan, that's exactly what you need to say.
Go Jared Goff.
He's been a little rocky
He
to
has.
start
It
this
hasn't
season.
been the
And there's
same.
no shade being thrown. The numbers
the
just
offense
back
does
me
not-
up on
offense
it.
that coordinator,
Offense
man.
does not look good.
No, well, the
Coordinator's
running
big.
backs have. The passing game has shown a few flashes, but it hasn't been consistent. That's the thing.
I think you still don't. I still don't feel they have they got Laporta and they have Amon-Ra, but I still don't think they have another receiver.
You know, well,
Yeah.
it's funny that you mentioned that because you know who's one of the only other persons of receivers who has over 200 receiving yards is Jamison Williams.
Well,
So
he
it's 'cause
popped week 1, but he
popped another couple of weeks,
It's
too.
just been he's dropped every week. He was good week 1. He's gotten worse as the season's gone. And it's not that it's not long, but he seems more like a boomer bust. They were definitely hoping that he'd be that other guy with that high pick that they paid to get him, but it's been a struggle.
Yeah, it has. It really has.
Well, then I hope we need to take advantage of something because our D line is banged the fuck up as I've talked about earlier. Detroit is, I think they're a 3.5 point favorite at home, which makes sense given everything that's playing out on both ends of the ball. We are getting Kenny Walker back. No word about Abe Lucas just yet. He's still on the mend. So Abe, yeah, I think that that left tackle needs to be reassessed again. Right tackle. Charles Cross is the left tackle.
There you go.
Barkley and Pittsburgh's defense. Motherfucker.
I know, man.
I picked up
Not
Pittsburgh's
number one.
defense on fucking fantasy because they were playing the fucking Colts. And they're getting slaughtered by Joe Flacco.
Fantastic.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, sir. Defense is it's
Barkley's
all,
not doing shit.
it's all a dart throw sometimes, man. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes it doesn't.
Trev, you want to
go
touch?
Hawks.
You want to touch on your game before?
Damn right. Yeah. Keep going.
Oh, my game. Oh, yeah. We play this afternoon. It's good. The Patriots, we were like a 10.5-point favorite. I thought about taking the Patriots just because I don't know if we can cover that spread the way that the team's been
You
playing.
think you're gonna win?
I think we should win still.
Okay.
Because, again, I felt like we were in every game that we've played this year.
Brock Purdy's been playing pretty good. I'll give him that. I'll shout him.
He has been playing well.
I'll shout him.
Again, the defense and the special teams, the play calling is suspect. It's got to get better. It's got to be better, even with the injuries. I still think we should win this game, though. But, who knows? They beat the Bengals week 1, so that was a surprise. But I think the Patriots have kind of shown me who I thought they were going to be
You're
after
getting
last
some
week.
key players
I should have
back,
bet on them
though.
last week. I thought the shoe was going to drop, and it finally did.
Devo said he was gonna play. Kittle said he was gonna play. Are they actually gonna play?
I think Kittle is. Debo, I think, is more of a question. I don't know. Like, last I saw, he was still doubtful.
Oof.
My pathetic ass Raiders play the Browns, and who knows what they're going to do. So
I don't think they're pathetic. I
they
don't.
looked like it last week, Chuck.
After last week, that's kind of dropped you pretty bad.
1 week. I understand
A
being
loss
critical.
is one thing. Getting slaughtered is another
the
thing.
Panthers.
Slaughtered.
I watched it. That's why I didn't text you because I didn't know what
I
to
turned it
say.
off and went
I
and
didn't
played
know
video
what
games.
to say.
Went and played video games with my son.
Oh, that's gonna improve your spirits for sure. I don't blame you there.
Good choice.
Let's jump into some fandom.
Okay.
You want to start, Charlie? You got to Seattle.
Yeah, I have the Sonics on my brim for a reason. Was within the last week. Okay, so I've been pushing hard for Seattle to get a basketball team back for,
Chuck's been reaching out and talking to people.
exactly. Emailing, bro. My email's been coming in hot. With high importance, with that red exclamation point next to it. Yeah, you use Outlook. We all do. We're adults. No, but legitimately, if Seattle gets another NBA team, or whether it's going to be by expansion at this point, the movement is not really a thing. There's not teams that are viable for, sale or anything like that.
It'd be Vegas and Seattle.
Are the two heavy hubs that have been discussed for
Which make total
a while.
sense.
Of course. And then you get to reformulate the East because Memphis shouldn't be in the West. There are things you can make the NBA make sense.
Yeah, you can definitely toss
conference-wise,
over.
for sure.
Toss somebody else out, too. You could, take a Texas team.
Sure.
If
You could take Dallas and put them in the East
or
if you wanted to.
Houston, Dallas, one of them.
For sure.
Easy.
Yeah. So, you got that. But then the point of the fandom is
Minnesota.
What?
Minnesota could go to the East, too.
Okay. The point of my fandom is that Oklahoma City was put on record as saying they would return our history.
I'll give you a cheers for that, pal.
That's amazing.
That's good news,
Come on,
man.
it is. Because they rebranded. They didn't become the Oklahoma City Sonics.
Yes,
They
that would've been
rebranded
different.
colors, moniker, everything. They rebranded. They have nothing to do with the Sonics history. They did grab the team.
Right.
But I love that if they're I appreciate that on I hope that's the one fucking thing that comes up. We shouldn't have lost the team in the fucking first place, but my fandom is that the NBA needs to do right by the city of Seattle and the fans and put a team up there now that we have an NBA style stadium with climate pledge
There you go.
arena. Yeah,
You did it.
Thank you. That was tough. Climate pledge arena, and that's where the Kraken play. You can play in if an NHL stadium is good enough. That's an NBA stadium. Let's go. Come on, give me a team. Bring the Sonics back.
I really don't have much of a fandom for this week. I was gonna let it stick to the topic, and I just think John Fisher shouldn't be an owner.
So my fandom this week is basically last
Exactly.
Oakland A's home game was Thursday. That's kind of crazy.
Good turnout. Everybody's giving him
Yeah.
some more money right before he takes the team away.
Like it was, yeah, I know, but he still has to come up. So the thing is, like, that was such an awesome turnout.
Unfortunate, like,
but dude, he still hasn't. The Vegas thing still isn't set. Like, they knocked Tropicana down, but he still has to come up with 500 and like something million that
I
he
hope
hasn't.
something fucks it up so good.
So it's not like fully done. So I know it's gonna be in SAC next year. That's where we're really hoping that. But the thing that kind of not deters us, River Cats really do a good job, like, with their fan base in Sacramento. Sacramento's like goes to a lot of games at City, but we're hoping that we can pop over the hill a bunch next year, get that team
Why
in
not?
Because the team played really well at the end of the year. They really did. They had one of the best records for a long time since July 1st. I think they went on a losing streak to kind of wreck that at one point, but they played really well in the second half, and it's a young team, so be able to pop over the hill and Sac to see it. It is super sad that it's over in Oakland. And Jeff Fisher's fucking letter that he sent out was like, fuck you, dude. Don't have your PR person write the letter. Like, that's such a Chauncey ass fucking fake bullshit letter.
I mean, it just kind of speaks to who he is.
He is a puck. I don't know how the fucking Nevada legislature let this shit pass still. How in the fuck, how could they have, like, believed a word of that guy when he's saying they're going to, like, be winning, they're going to go out and get guys, they're going to put fans in the stands.
He's going to be the
He's
same
never
guy
done
in
that.
Vegas.
Yes, he's never done that. Why would he change now?
And yeah, sorry, Oakland. You just lost the Raiders, the Warriors, and now the A's. You're teamless. After some great teams were there.
A lot of championships.
It hurts.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay positive and hope that, like, next year we get to go to, like, a lot of games. And SAC, it'd be hella cool if SAC somehow made, like, a big ass stadium, or not a big one, but like,
it'd be hella cool
25,
if
that'd
they
be
wanted
sick.
to come play here. I'd go to so many A's games.
yeah, I don't think we could fund it.
I don't think so either.
My one worry though is if it doesn't go to Vegas, it could go to Salt Lake or Portland, and then that would really fuck me up. That'd be a long ways away.
I could see those being as viable cities, though.
That'd be a long. That's why I'm hoping that maybe SAC can.
It's not going to
It's
happen
not gonna
there.
happen.
It's not going to happen there, unfortunately. Which is crazy, though, because Sacramento is the capital of California.
But it'd be cool, man. We just jump across the hill, boys.
Yeah.
2-hour drive,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
better.
No, any clean matchup we could go and watch within, as long as the pass is clear.
And
God
now
damn,
now
it's
Grayson,
nuts over that way.
we took Grayson to his first game, so now, like, those day trips where you're not, like, going down to, like, have like drinks, where you're going down more just like hang out as a family, those are easier to do, like a turnaround, instead of driving all the way to fucking Oakland and back.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
Quick
really
trip,
I'm,
that'd be
I'm
nice.
hoping that next year with that we're gonna try to, like, really get some, like, good A's.
Well, we need to stop by Urban Roots while we go.
Yeah,
to
Definitely.
Sacramento.
That will be.
That's gotta be.
on the
That's an
list.
adult. That's an adult. That's no kid trip though.
Well, we can take the kid. You just
No.
can't have the.
No kids on that.
It'll be
one.
better without him. Sorry, kids.
If we're going to an A's game and then Urban Roots, dude, we definitely gonna take the kids. That's a non-kid fucking trip.
Fuck them
But
kids.
okay, if there's anything, it breaks my heart for fans of Oakland sports in general.
Yeah.
It recharges my heart as a Seattle fan, like, in that area, because I was stoked to get the Kraken, but that's still the Sonics were. I love the Sonics before I love the Seahawks. Really, I got kind of pushed into the Seahawks because the Sonics
Because
left.
of
Yeah, like, not that I didn't love the Seahawks. We were just boo boo back in the day, so, like, there wasn't a
Made
whole
it
lot.
tough.
Yeah.
Bears scored a touchdown. They're up 7-6. Sorry, Chuck.
Okay.
Hey,
all right. Then.
all right. So we just need
It was probably the
Pittsburgh
defense.
to have
Probably
a
wasn't
great
Caleb
comeback.
Williams. Yeah. Oh, an insane comeback.
I mean, it could happen. That defense is real. Come on, TJ.
A lot of
Pick six.
football left. A lot of football
Just
left.
take the ball out of his hands, run it in for a touchdown.
All right,
Strip
well-
sack, touchdown.
Just check us out: X, Instagram, Buzzsprout, Spotify, YouTube for the
Yep.
pretty faces.
And
Thumbs
the
up.
beers on. Yeah, check out these beers. They were all good.
This
All
one,
good.
yeah, no, yeah, agreed. They're all going to be clipped up on X and Instagram. Let's go. But do you know what pod is next?
69.
Yum.
Look out, y'all. Enjoy the NFL while it's here.